This is the story of Ferdinand Magellan's circumnavigation of the world. In the year 1519, a momentous expedition prepared to leave Spain. The bustling port was alive with activity as 5 ships, the Trinidad, San Antonio, Concepcion, Victoria, and Santiago, stood poised for adventure. At the helm was Ferdinand Magellan, a Portuguese navigator with a burning ambition to chart a western route to the fabled Spice Islands. With a crew of some 270 souls, a mix of hopeful young men and weathered veterans, they cast off, leaving the familiar world behind and setting their sights on the vast, unknown horizon. The Atlantic proved a relentless foe. Days bled into weeks, weeks into months, marked by the constant groan of timber and the endless roll of the waves. Whispers of mutiny rippled through the ranks, born of fear and frustration. But Magellan, with an iron will, swiftly crushed the descent. They pushed south, hugging the wild, uncharted coast of what's now Brazil, enduring fierce storms that threatened to tear their fragile vessels apart. The search for a passage was grueling, a relentless test of endurance against nature's fury. Finally, in October 1520, after what must have felt like an eternity, Magellan discovered the treacherous, winding waterway that would forever bear his name, the Strait of Magellan, a watery labyrinth at the southern tip of South America. Emerging from the strait, they were greeted by an astonishing sight. A vast, seemingly tranquil ocean that Magellan, in a moment of hopeful calm, named the Pacific. Yet this serenity was a cruel illusion. For nearly 4 agonizing months, they sailed across this immense expanse. Provisions dwindled to nothing, and the crew suffered terribly from starvation and scurvy. Many succumbed, their lives quietly claimed by the sea, leaving the survivors gaunt and hollow-eyed. Their first blessed sight of land in Asia was the island of Guam, a fleeting moment of relief before they pressed on to the Philippines, arriving in March 1521. It was in the Philippines, on the island of Mactan, that the expedition's bold leader met his tragic end. Magellan, driven by a fervent desire to convert the local inhabitants to Christianity and establish Spanish influence, became fatally entangled in a tribal conflict. On April 27, 1521, on the beaches of Mactan, he was cut down by the warriors of Lapu-Lapu during a fierce and chaotic battle. Magellan was gone, but his dream of circumnavigation, though severely wounded, would continue. With Magellan fallen, the remaining crew, now desperately few in number, pressed on under new leadership. The San Antonio had deserted earlier in the voyage, and the Concepcion was scuttled, simply because there weren't enough men left to sail her. Only 2 ships, the Trinidad and the Victoria, managed to reach the coveted Spice Islands. The Trinidad attempted a daring return across the Pacific, but was ultimately captured by the Portuguese. The mantle of completing the impossible fell to Juan Sebastián Elcano. Aboard the sole surviving ship, the Victoria, her holds now heavy with precious spices, he bravely navigated the vast Indian Ocean. They battled relentless storms and treacherous currents before finally rounding the perilous Cape of Good Hope. Every day was a testament to their sheer will to survive. Finally, after an epic 3-year odyssey, on September 6, 1522, the Victoria limped back into a Spanish port. A ghost of her former self, with tattered sails and a hull scarred by the world's oceans, she carried a mere 18 surviving crew members. They were gaunt, weathered, and forever changed by their ordeal, but they had done what no one had ever done before. They had completed the first circumnavigation of the Earth, forever altering our understanding of the globe and paving the way for new trade routes across its vast expanse.